No-code automation tools are pretty essential to any functioning home lab or home server kit, because a lot of the time you need to automate some basic things. Turn on this if this happens, automatically send a thing when I do this, so on and so forth. There's a few of these around, but there's three major players in the industry for this type of tooling. There's Zapier, Make, and n8n. Now, Zapier has a free version, but very limited. The main kind of differentiator is that they have a premium apps, which is like Facebook or Google Drive, like that you have to pay for, and it gets expensive. And I was a Zapier user for many, many years. I got it when it was like $9 or $10 a month, and then they just kept jacking up the pricing. Make.com was a very, very good alternative. It's cheaper. It is much cheaper, but the way they get you is they have a low subscription cost, but every single step of every single workflow that you create costs credits. So if you have like at 4 o'clock every day, go into Google Drive, check files, move them from here to there, and then update another thing and then send me an email that it's done, or update my Slack and tell me it's done. Whatever it could be. Credit, 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 credit every single time it runs. That's how they get you. I moved from Zapier to Make, and then they changed the credit cost and the credits start not making sense. n8n is the other option. It is not as, I'll say, sleek and as easy to get through than the other two. It's a little bit more finicky, but n8n, you can fully self-host and have most of the full services on your home server, but it's zero for nothing. And if you look through the n8n site, you'll see, the community edition. I mean, there's still quite a lot of functionality that you get. Like, you don't get some of the collaboration stuff, you don't get some of their AI stuff, but I mean, for 99% of us, it is functionally workable for any of your requirements, really. So let's do an install. Like always, installing into Unraid. If you haven't got Unraid, get it. Link's in my description. Go into the apps and then select this one. Click install. Okay, it's going to ask us for some settings. We will have to go into the terminal once we're done, but it's very straightforward. So I'm going to change it to my time zone. I'm going to make sure that it is in the cache, the config's in the cache. Now the webhook tunnel. You can use Cloudflare tunnels for this, absolutely fine. If you are going to be using Cloudflare tunnels to send files over 100 meg, it won't work. Use Pangolin. I use Pangolin. I've got videos on how to set it up. I recommend using Pangolin. Or if this is going on a web server and you can have a static IP and you're comfortable opening a port, then leave this as is. For me, I'm going to use Pangolin. So I'm going to create n8n.benlab.cc. And that means that anything I send, this is the webhook to catch, to send, to receive, all of that. All right, hit apply. And now I'm going to go into my Pangolin and set up the webhook now while this is installing. Okay, so I'm in my Pangolin instance. I'm going into my public resources, and this is a HTTPS resource. I'll call it n8n. Subdomain will be n8n. And then the target configuration, project server, IP address of the project server is 192.168.60.115, I believe. 60.115, and the port was 5678, 5678. I'll just double check. Actually, 1115678, hit create resource. Now I'm going to go into my general. I'm going to just change that to n8n, save identifier to n8n. Proxy, I will leave. Authentication, I'm going to turn off the SSO. If I don't turn this off, this URL essentially is protected and people would have to log in. I'm not going to do that. I could add a header. So if I wanted to use the webhook, I could send a header. I would probably do a user and password, and then update that in the n8n webhook settings. But for now, I'm just going to leave it that there's no authentication on that webhook. That's done. Back into Unraid. Okay, so Unraid is finished. I'm going to hit done, and I'm going to my Docker, and we're likely going to find, I'm going to click on here and find the logs. I'm probably going to see, so it's got some errors. Let's fix that. So I'm going to go into the terminal. So if you need to get in your terminal, you click up here. Now I want to do own hyphen capital R 1000 colon 100 / MNT mount cache or cache app data n8n, enter. Then I want to go chmod dash capital R UG plus read and write capital X space. I'm going to do mount cache. I call it cache. I'm going to call it cache. I'm not going to apologize. App data n8n. Okay. And then I want to go ls space -la, and I want to do mnt / cache app data n8n. Okay, that now shows that we have ownership. We have to grant ownership to read and write to the folder. It's just something that has to be done, but just follow that and you're good. I'll add this code and the instructions in my free Patreon. So again, link in bio. So now come back in, hit start. And if I go straight to the web UI, we should see this error. That's why we set up the URL before. I'm going to go to that URL now. And I just went to n8n.benlab.cc, which was the URL I created in my Pangolin, and we're good to go. So I'm going to create an account and then I'll add my name and I'll create a password. I don't want to receive anything. Next. I am not using this for work. I heard it from Google. Whatever. Now, you can do this. It will just send you the license key. I'll show you where to do it. It'll send it to your email. So I'll just go, I'm not going to bother for now. Then when you get it, you go into your settings, go into your usage and plan, enter the activation key and go. Doesn't cost you anything, doesn't affect you at all, just gives you more functions. And that's it. N8n is running. If I start from scratch, one of the reasons we wanted to set up the URL early on, and we add it in the config, the setup, if I go add a step and I want a webhook, you'll see now I have my options, so I can, post to this URL and it will catch it here so it's already set up and you can now do whatever you want to do. There are a lot of apps that are built in that you can start to connect tools between. I will create on a schedule, like every 20 minutes, go and get a file from my other Unraid server, which gives me the hard drive temperatures. Then I will pass it out. So you can do can get it to run some code. So the input, run some code, output, and it will pass out. And then I will say, if the temperatures are over X, then get my home assistant to turn the air conditioner on, stuff like that. So yeah, a no-code service is absolutely essential to any home lab because it just adds so much more flexibility and functionality to everything you can do, and it costs you nothing, which is beauty. I've had things on here with, 62 steps that was automatically creating AI videos and posting them, the ton of stuff you can do. So yeah, N8n must have.